Welcome to the MoChunks show. To start off with, we're going to be doing what's trending, then we're going to do Chit Chat with Mo, and then finish the show off with Make It Fashion.
Chunks of life, chunks of fashion, chunks of entertainment, chunks of relationships. So give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Give me some more, give me some more, give me some more.
The MoChunks show is basically going to be a compilation of all the amazing segments that you've been seeing me present on this channel over this lockdown period and also previously as well. So what's trending, Chit Chat with Mo, as well as some other fun segments that we've decided, we want to explore a bit more. Things like Mo's Kitchen, some fashion segments, and also like some product reviews as well. Thought that might be a nice little addition to add to the show. We're also going to bring back Real Scoop, where we have like interviews with like artists and really inspiring people all around the world. So we do want to upload these segments as like segments along the week as you've been receiving them before, but we'll also upload the full episodes on the podcast app. After the week is over, we will upload the full episode. For those of you who don't want the breaks in between, I just want to see the full thing. I hope that makes sense, guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into the show. Welcome to the MoChunks show. To start off with, we're going to be doing what's trending, then we're going to do Chit Chat with Mo, and then finish the show off with Make It Fashion. Before we get into it, I want to show you my outfit of the day. Today, I'm wearing this frayed jacket. I thought this is quite a nice, autumn, winter kind of vibe, more of the autumn side, because I actually wore this out the other day and I was freezing because of the gaps in between, and there's also one at the back which you guys will be seeing on the screen right now. I'm wearing this with like a woolen crop top and some leather pants, and I'm also wearing these lovely heels from boohoo.com. I'm not sure whether we did it in the proper drip cam before, but you guys can see it right there. What my toes did yesterday. So without further ado, let's get straight into what's trending, where I give the listen on what's popping in the world of celebrity, Yelebrity, and in our world of today. And we're going to be talking about none other than the amazing Wizkid and his new album, Made in Lagos. Now, this album was released over the weekend and has provoked a lot of reviews, most of them really, really good. People are really loving the vibe. He originally wanted to release this October 15th, but because this was in the heat of the EndSARS movement, for those of you that don't know, EndSARS was a movement by Nigerian youth who were tired or became tired of police brutality in Nigeria, and basically were out protesting for a better Nigeria. And those of you that know my story know that I grew up in Nigeria up until I was 10 years old. And I'm a huge testament to the fact that you can take the girl out of Nigeria, but you can't take Nigeria out of the girl. I'm very in tune with my culture, love my people. And, I'm always rooting for them back home. So this whole movement and, everything that kind of came out of it with, people losing their lives for the cause, it was a very heartbreaking thing, especially what happened at the Lekki toll gate, which, to my knowledge, no one is yet to take account for, within the government bodies. So Wizkid was standing in solidarity with Nigerian brothers and sisters and decided to hold the project off. And, when it seemed like, okay, now's a good time, he read the room and he released it. And, the vibes of the album, I really, really like it. Seems like a very, my first thoughts on the album, seems like a very romantic, almost, dare I say, borderline sexual album. It's a 14-track album that features various different artists, including Burna Boy, LMA, Thames, who's a new artist, who actually was a topic of discussion because people were describing how, she's someone that, she's quite curvaceous and she doesn't want to be sexualized, but people are sexualizing her. That became like a little debate on social media, which was quite interesting. Other artists, including Damian Marley and her. Really, really good album, nice body of work. I think a lot of people, or some people who don't like it and are critiquing it, really wanted Ojuelegba, original flavor, that guy that was like ready to hustle for his money, that kind of vibe from Wizkid. And they believe that, money has changed him, his new experiences have changed him. But I think, no artist should really be boxed. I think it's great that his style, his sound has evolved. I think when we want, that raw, authentic kind of Nigerian sound, we have, Malians, come forward. We have Naira Marley, who still does that. We have what's his name? Olamide Bado. We have people that still kind of make that kind of raw, if you're Yoruba, for example, that raw Yoruba kind of vibe. We've got artists that are doing that, so we should allow artists that want to evolve and expand with their sound to do so. What do you guys think of Made in Lagos? What's your favorite track on the album? Personally, I like Sweet One, I like Ginger, and I like No Stress. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. So let's go straight into Yelebrity news. This one, quite an interesting one, okay? I was watching or came across an interesting documentary by the BBC called Catch Her If You Can. And this was about Mariam Mola, very famous, or should I say infamous, SPAC Nation pastor. And you guys know what I'm like with like discussing SPAC Nation. We probably spoke about their church maybe on the first few seasons of What's Trending when it was a standalone segment. And after that, I kind of just left it and I was like, okay, I don't want to run any more commentary on the church per se. But Mariam Mola was kind of depicted in this documentary, basically exposing, some of these things we knew already, but exposing some of the scams that she's done and like the in-depth experiences of the people that were scammed. Because we kind of heard at the back of, through the grapevine, okay, yeah, she's scammed people in the past. I've kind of heard, okay, this is not the first time she's been involved in something like this, and kind of brushed it aside. But hearing the stories of people and how it kind of affected them after kind of gave a whole new perspective. Just to kind of give you like a round idea of what the documentary involved. There was, for example, a girl who she met in secondary school, and the girl must have put a sad status on social media. Mariam reached out to her and asked her what was up, and she found out that this young girl's grandma had a few months to live, and her and her mother were about to book some tickets to go to Jamaica to see her. Now, Mariam kindly, it seemed at the time, offered to get her some discounted tickets. And the girl, of course, jumped at it, made it seem like a matter of urgency. And of course, they never got the tickets. So you can imagine what that did to that family. There was also another really tragic one, actually, when Mariam ended up in prison. She's been into prison like 5 times. She admits this even in her sermons as well, kind of use it as a testimony story. Went to prison a few times. First time in Belgium, caught with like 9 American Express cards, like clone cards, and she was like the ringleader out of 3 girls found in like different allegedly, stores, high fashion, Louis V, Fendi, Burberry, all those kind of high fashion brands that you kind of hear about. End up in prison in Belgium, Italy, and then in Spain, where she met this lady's mother. What she's really good at, it seems from the documentary, is that she's a good listener. She finds out, your desires, what are the things that you want, and then she uses that against you. So what happened with the lady she met in prison was she found out she has a family, and a family that's longing to place bail for her. So through conversation, she found out, her daughter's name, what numbers to call, and then called the daughter, pretended to be a bail lawyer, and basically scammed her of about £15,000. And it was just like each story was like jaw dropping. There was allegedly a woman and her husband where scammed off 77 to 100K. That one was a bit of a sticky one because it seemed like there might have been a relationship between Mariam and the lady's husband, well, then husband. There was also a lady in, after all these series of schemes, she reformed herself, went on Lorraine, made it seem like she was just dating someone that taught her how to do fraud. And really, she's turning her life around, started this mentor scheme, scammed her business partner in the process. And then, of course, the church, she, was one of the owners of one of the safe houses where young people would live in. And when those young people were living with her, she would allegedly make them take out like 5K loans that they would quote unquote on live off of. And it would be like she would tell them she would definitely keep up with the repayments, and they trusted her because she had this persona. She looks rich, she must be rich, she can keep up with loan repayments. But lo and behold, they would be in debt and she would be in Burberry, for example. So it was just a chain of like every story, just like, do you not have a heart? Like, how can you just do this to person after person? And I think one thing that I found quite interesting is this girl is really smart. Like, imagine all the amount of energy, time, effort you put into planning um, fraudulent schemes. Of course, this is some of them still alleged, some of them proven in like articles and stuff, but we're going to say allegedly for the purpose of this. Um, Allegedly planning schemes for so long. Imagine if this lady was to put her head down and really plan something with the smartness, and she's able to draw high class people to events through her mentorship program, for example. Imagine if that was actually a legitimate business. She's able to gather funds for things. She's able to convince people. She's able to rebrand herself, rather than all the time doing fraudulent schemes. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Oh, I forgot to mention, with the in the heat of all of this, she has, again, as a smart woman, she is taking it as an opportunity to promote her new book, which allegedly will be called Catch Me If You Can. And in response to the BBC documentary, she basically said, tell your audience to believe what they want. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. In terms of world news, we're right in the middle of the US election, 2020 US elections, and the war really now is between Biden and Trump. Initially seemed like Trump was winning when they counted the in-person votes, where people actually go to the poll stations and vote physically. But when the mail-in ballots began coming in, we started to see more love for, or more, the results beginning to skew more towards the Democrats, which is Biden's party. So even we began to see previously like very, red states, such as Arizona and Michigan overnight, being taken by Biden, where usually that would be a Republican state, which is it's been a very interesting turn of events, but it's 2020. Anything gonna happen. I think people have been saying that, Biden is definitely going to win. I'm not the best clued up when it comes to politics. I've literally spent a lot of my day yesterday watching the graph thingy and didn't really understand it, to be honest. But what I do kind of get from it is that you can get a high number of votes, but if it's not in the right states, you may still not win. But it does look like Biden is picking up those key states, such as Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And apparently, we may not know for a few days. But right now, it does look like Biden is in the lead. So we're going to see how it turns out. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to take the win? Is Trump going to be out, or are we going to have another government with him? If Biden does win, do you feel like he will have the chance to lead America the way he wants to, or do you think he will have the same problem, or some of the same problems that Obama had, where because the legislation was still majorly Republican, he wasn't able to do certain things like Obamacare? Or do you feel like he will have a good ride all the way? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And to round off, guys, this one is actually quite, a sad story to report, and, trigger warning: sexual assault and child molestation. So a very, sad story came on social media yesterday, where a brave young woman and her mother had intercepted an abduction of a young girl at like 7 a.m. in the morning, a primary school girl going to school. They found a man and a girl, and it looked suspicious, so they followed them. Eventually found that this guy was, making this young girl perform sexual acts on him. And there was a video that they took, and in the video you could see that they were asking, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with her? And he tried to play it off and say that they were family, and they persisted, and that was how they were able to retrieve the young girl. And it seemed like he had maybe like covered her mouth so she couldn't speak until they got her. And when they did get her, she was, like in tears. Oh, this video is so heartbreaking, guys. She was in tears and she was, like saying, thank you. I don't know him. He made me do this. And it just kind of really highlighted, why we need to like protect young women, protect young men as well, because child molestation is, it happens a lot more often than we think in our vicinities as well. Sometimes we may miss it because we're not totally clued up on what it can look like. But it does happen, and keeping alert as like members of the community can save more young people. And of course, really, really brave thing those two young women, the woman and her mom did, because anything could have happened. He could have had a weapon. But I'm really glad that they intercepted, because really, really heartbreaking situation. The police had to step in, online and say, please don't do jungle justice, because a lot of people wanted to get him. His picture was released from the video, his address. Some people were harassing his family, which I personally don't agree with. But the police had to kind of say, don't do anything. Let us kind of do due diligence with the law. But I understand why people were not really happy with that, because sometimes the law doesn't prosecute, such cases, such, sexual assault cases. It can be really tricky for the public to decide how to react. I think as of this moment, he has been arrested. You guys let me know in the comment section down below and what we can do to protect our young ones a bit better. And that's all I have for you guys in terms of what's trending. We're going to go straight into Chit Chat with Mo. Welcome back to the show, and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates, honest conversation, and so much more. As you can see, guys, the set is so different, all brand new season, and everything looks so glam. I can't believe that we're here. Thank you guys so much for the support that you've been giving this channel over the last few days that we've been releasing the vlogs and everything. Even yesterday, we were meant to release, the first episode of the show, but we couldn't because we came across some like technical difficulties. But we're getting there. I'm still smiling because like I feel so grateful to be here, and like I'm ready to kind of do whatever it takes. I've been doing whatever it takes to get here, and now that we are here, I'm doing whatever it takes to kind of get us to a really nice place. So do bear with us whilst we experiment, see what works, see what doesn't work. We're slowly building the set. Speaking of the set, actually, really nice company, Flickerwick Limited, black owned candle brand. They gifted us these candles for our set, which was really lovely of them. Really nice aroma, guys. I really love it. We do have a discount code. I'm going to put it on the screen right here for you guys to use if you want to purchase it. But let's get into the show, guys. Yeah, this season of my life has been one that's been very it's just got me in a lot of deep thought, about, some of the sacrifices that it's taken to kind of get here. Pursuing my dreams hasn't been an easy journey. Those of you that have been rocking with me on this channel will probably know, because I've shared very vulnerable moments. I've cried on camera. There were some moments that you guys didn't see, as I was presenting the show, especially in 2019. 2019 was a year that I really pursued, like really went for it in terms of putting my all into trying to build MCTV, especially. And in trying to do that, I was running a business, a videography business at the time, because it gave me the flexibility to kind of do the show, also make some money to support myself. But honestly, that year was really hard for me. It was a really hard year financially, because I like pumped everything into the show. And you guys know, if you're a freelancer, if you run a business, or people that run businesses, you know that business has its ups and downs. You can literally make a whole lot of money in 1 month, and then like the next month there'll be nothing. I remember, there were moments where like even like buying like essential things was like really difficult for me, because I wasn't sure about when my next would come or what the next month would look like. And it was kind of like, it felt like I can make these sacrifices because I know that one day, by the grace of God, this is going to go somewhere and this is going to be my bread and butter and I'm going to be super successful. So it kind of felt like my sowing season, but whoop, delay. It was not easy, guys. And I would come every week on camera and smile, and present the show with like energy, and like no one would kind of know except for like maybe those that were really like close to me. And even then, I probably like kept a lot of it to myself, kind of like just went for it and just, you know, carried carried on pressing on regardless. But like I would come on and I'd still be consistent, I'd still be pushing through because I kind of felt like, I'm always reminded of this image of this man, and he's like with his hoe underground, pressing for gold, and like he gives up right before he hits it. And then there's right underneath him another man that, keeps going, and he's crazy, looking crazy, and he finally, hits the gold. And it's like you actually never know what's on the other side of your struggle, but you may never find out if you don't keep going, as a creative or whatever it is that you want to be successful in. And this is not to say that I'm completely successful right now, but like we've reached a new level of upgrade that I know has only been possible because I kept showing up. So like that's my biggest. If there's one thing you take away from this chit chat with Mo segment, is that keep showing up. There's a real power in like consistency and determination. And you actually never know when you might meet your catalyst. I'm thinking on this amazing quote by one of my biggest inspirations, Oprah Winfrey, and she talks about luck, and she talks about the fact that there's no such thing as luck, and that luck is what we perceive as luck is preparation meeting a moment of opportunity. So in the sense of you have to be prepared even for this massive big break, this massive opportunity, this massive catalyst that you're praying for. When I think about the hecticness or the amount of stuff that's happened over the last 2 weeks, from getting the right team together, knowing on who to call, from shooting a music video and already having the directions for it from 5 years ago, already having this mixed and mastered from 3 years ago, already having the right makeup artist to call on. Like everything was just, I didn't have to think about it too much. It was just execute, execute, execute. And that's because over the years, the last 7 years, I believe it is, I say 5 years plus because 2020 blur, but over the last 7 years, been preparing for the amazing opportunity that I've been given a studio space, a studio slot that I can come in, have an amazing producer, Clem behind the scenes, all organized as you guys saw in the vlog by my amazing partner. And now, it was literally just all of that prep, 7 years worth opportunity, and boom, and like I said, this isn't the end. This is like a new beginning. This is an upgrade. We're getting closer to the even closer than ever. Like these are things that I've dreamt about. The theme song that you guys have seen, I think that's the one that blows my mind the most, because when I came into this space and it was all unveiled, I think it was my sister that said, "Come and see your dressing table." And then I saw the dressing table and I was like, it's time, because I'd already, like I said, written directions for the music video for the song I came up with. And, one of the first scenes, the establishing shot was going to be in a dressing room. I said, right, it's time. This is what I've seen. It's time to make it happen. And yeah, I find it all really, really amazing. You never know what the difficulties that you're going through. You never know what the random ideas that you're getting is preparing you from what is now the MoChunks show is, segments like that we've been doing over the years on the channel. We're now finally like putting them together and it's all gelling and making sense. Even the vision of MCTV, I didn't always get it. I thought it had to be one or the other. I didn't realize that, the vision that I actually have is both a platform, but also the show. So in a sense of the MoChunks show will be running, and it's something that I love to present every on a weekly basis. But I also do like to do like seasonal productions, such as Love Quiz, which was like the Love series, such as The Hub, which is like an interview series, and where we bring people from all walks of life. So it's both what we're building here is both a platform and an amazing show that I would love to nurture. So it's like a multi-series platform with multiple shows, including the MoChunks show. And I'm blessed to see that kind of finally make sense. I think one thing as a creative is that you can have so many ideas, but you're not sure how it fits in. But again, because I kept showing up, because I kept trying different things, because I've been consistent over the years, trial and error, and now and even 2 years from now, it might change again. But one thing about me is I'm a doer. I'm going to do it and then see what comes out of it. And if I need to change things, like if I need to alter things, I'm going to alter it accordingly. I guess that's just my biggest like lesson in this season. And I'm also, I've also been doing some introspection, also been learning to be like just grateful. I think this season of my life is so good that sometimes I can get a bit complacent and sometimes I can feel like, okay, yeah, this is my new normal. And I can just be like, okay, not even be appreciative of what's going on around me. But I'm learning that even when things are good, like remember and reflect on when they weren't so good and still be grateful even through that. And still appreciate each moment. Thank you, God, for the times. Thank you, God, for my subscribers. Thank you, God, for my amazing partner. Thank you, God, for this amazing studio that you've blessed me with. Thank you, God, for my family and my friends. Because when I tell you, the first half of my life wasn't pain free, it was very painful. And that's not to say life is with the absence of pain and hardships, but like when it comes to the hardship side, oh my god, side that I was sinking. In the first half of my life, didn't have good friendships. Was very very unlucky in love. Um, Opportunities weren't always there for me, but like this side of my life is like it just feels great, and it's like don't ever look at someone's harvest season and kind of envy it. I also wanted to be careful of things like that because if you're gonna envy the peaks, you also have to also envy the troughs in a sense of, these are highlights, but there's also been lowlights, and people won't always show you what's happening, behind the scenes, and all of these moments, like I said, lots of pain behind the scenes, lots of pain leading up to this moment. But you know, um, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, if you're good, don't envy what's good without understanding that it took a lot of sacrifice. Some of the struggles that I like popped to mind immediately. I remember, there were times where I was still living in Sussex, and I would have like shoots in London, and I would like carry like heaps loads of equipment. Like this is like heavy duty stuff, stands, lights, cameras, and I'd carry them on my back. And I remember I'd always be looking crazy on the trains. Wasn't driving at the time. It was really all part of the struggle before I got my studio. Also transporting things like quite expensive equipment, such as like I had like an iMac. Just being careful that no one was looking at me trying to like take it off me. You look crazy when you're carrying big media equipment on the train, and you can't like afford maybe a taxi instead or whatever it may be. Loads of late nights that are probably still gonna carry on. You guys saw, in my vlog series over the lockdown period, we lost the old studio, which had pumped a lot of time, energy, and money into. And I'll let you guys in a bit more. In university, I got some scholarships, so like just extra money from the government. And I also didn't have to pay my full tuition because of my A level grades. So they knocked money off of the 9K for me and then gave me extra money. So like I saved up things like that, thinking that was going to be my house fund. And then, after university, I decided that I wanted to really pursue this media thing because I believed that this was my calling. And, my entire family was expecting me to go study medicine. And I thought, okay, am I going to disappoint my parents or am I going to disappoint myself and the God who has called me to this thing, I believe. And I chose to disappoint my parents. Don't regret it. But I did regret when, after investing what was at the time, I didn't regret the whole thing, but I regretted maybe how I did it, in a sense of going for the business rather than maybe a job to support my dreams where I would have had a bit more money. Whereas because I did go for the business and used my quote unquote on house fund, or the beginning of my house fund, to fund my dreams, the studio, pay deposits, get a flat, all of that kind of stuff, and ended up with a big fat minus by the end of it, the end of 2019. Literally, I was literally like, after all that struggle, I still lost the studio. So it was kind of like a very like painful, um, sombering moment for me, thinking, is this thing really worth it? And kind of even still after all of that, deciding to kind of push through, film from my room. Even let's go back even further. The first show filming on a laptop with my then co-host Twiggy and Chunky. The Twiggy and Chunky show, and we filmed on an ironing board, and the laptop camera was the cam, and now we're in this amazing studio for like an all new season of the show. We're here, and it just feels like really surreal. I've got Clem, producer behind the scenes. I didn't have to lift a finger to set up today, and we're just getting closer to the dream. And like I said, keep showing up. Like, if anybody can say at this point, like, what's your secret, Mo, is I've just kept showing up. Apart from being excellent and approaching things with an excellent spirit and doing the best I can, I've just never stopped showing up. And a lot of not so great moments to get to here, but I'm really, really grateful to God for that. And then the final word of the week that I kind of want to leave you guys is what I kind of spoke about earlier. But remember, there's no such thing as luck. Luck, or what we perceive to be luck, is preparation meeting a moment of opportunity. So, guess what? Stay ready. Keep showing up. You never know when you're going to meet your catalyst. You never know when you're going to meet that thing that's going to turn your life around forever. There's no such thing as an overnight success. It's literally just consistently over time, doing the right things, your daily actions, even making mistakes along the way, will get you there eventually. And that's all I really have for you guys in terms of Chit Chat with Mo. We're going to head on over to Make It Fashion, where I'm going to be showing you my latest pieces that I've added to my autumn winter collection. Hi guys, welcome to a new fun segment, Make It Fashion, where I show you the latest in fashion, hair and beauty. So today I'm going to be showing you my awesome pieces that I've added to my autumn winter collection. Just some staple pieces that I believe every woman needs in her wardrobe as we go into autumn winter. I know we're in lockdown, guys, but some of us still want to look cute, we still want to dress up, we still want to add little pieces, or even like indoor date nights, whatever it may be. One thing that I think you guys definitely need is a cardigan. I got this one from boohoo.com, and I really love the button detailing. I love the material. I just love everything about it. I've been wanting to get a cardigan like this for a while, but haven't really found it. I really like smart casual looks, but are still very fashionable. Went for a white color that I feel like goes with a lot of outfits, so you guys should definitely check it out. I'll put links in the description box for you to go and purchase if it's still available. Another piece I think every woman needs in her autumn winter wardrobe is a jumper dress, and I got this really lovely one from ASOS. That burgundy, camel colors like that really work quite nicely for autumn winter. I also thought this nice orangey red band is really nice and just adds that nice pop of color to your outfits. You can wear this with like boots. You can wear this with heels, whatever it may be. I'm a size small, and I got this in a medium to add that kind of looseness to it. I feel like that kind of works a bit nicer. Look at that color, beautiful, gorgeous. It's from ASOS. One thing I was definitely on the lookout for was a nice wool two-piece, and I got this in black. I was trying to decide camel, black, but I feel like black is more practical. I did cheat it a little bit because I got the woolen skirt, but I didn't get the actual jumper that came with it. I felt like it was too pricey. So I looked for like a jumper on ASOS that had like similar material. You can kind of tell, but you kind of can't as well, that they're kind of different. But funny enough, it matches this top that I've got on today, because they're more like closer material in terms of wool. But because it's black, you can't really tell. So they work really nicely together. Again, I'll link this below. And this is from ASOS. And the last thing I want to show you guys are some shoes that I feel, you know, work really nicely autumn winter. Every lady needs a pair of like banging boots that, you know, take you to like that bad B level. And these are some amazing shoes that I was gifted actually. Simi shoes. Love the material. It's not suede, is it? It's like can't remember what this material is called. It's not leather, but it's like it hugs your skin rather than sticking out like boots do sometimes. I love the fact that it's pointy but not too pointy to the point where it starts looking like not very nice. I love the heel as well. I think it's nice and sharp on point. Look at that. Woo! Nah, these are banging. And I love the fact that it's not like fussy to put on as well. You can just pull it at the back and you are literally good to go. I think this actually goes really well with the jumper dress that I showed you guys. I think it would go nicer with maybe like leather pants, not so much the long midi skirt. I think it's more of a mini dress and boots kind of vibe for this one. Yeah, really nice simi shoes. Again, we'll link it in the description box down below so you guys can go check it out. Oh, and also guys, what I'm wearing right now, I believe, you know, autumn winter, you need like sometimes lighter jackets for like nice cool autumn days. And I got this frayed denim jacket from Misguided. Actually bought it off someone. It was new from Depop. They'd never worn it before and literally got it bargain price. It's actually still on Misguided. If I can find the link, I'll put it down below. And I also got these leather pants. These ones I actually got last season, but I do believe that, you know, leather pants are one of the staples that you need in your winter wardrobe. Loads on like Boohoo, Pretty Little Thing. I will find some that I recommend and link it down below for you guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this segment, the Make It Fashion segment, and I hope you've been inspired to add some really key pieces to your wardrobe this autumn winter. Thank you guys so much for watching this segment. Really like this video if you liked it, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time guys, peace and love. Peace and chance. And that's all we have on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do make sure you like this episode if you liked it, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time guys, peace and love. Peace and chance. Thank you for watching.